Is everything alright, sir? Now, I should probably continue so this stops beeping. The driver was still waiting outside the car. He leaned towards Osawa looking concerned. Was it you? Osawa stepped close to the driver. Did you send me those emails? What are you talking about, sir? Don't play dumb with me, Osawa said. You're the only person who could have planted a listening device on a company car. Listening device? The driver raised an eyebrow in confusion. What are you after? Sir, what are you talking about? Who told you to do it? Tell me. The driver fled back into the car. Osawa clutched the bug tracker hard as he watched the vehicle pull away. Of course we know that Minorikawa also had a bug tracker, right? And it sounded off when I was in the restaurant. So they're both bugged. He went back to his house, still gripped by confusion, to find Ai waiting in the entryway. She must have gotten home while he was out. You were with my father, weren't you? She sneered at Osawa as he slipped off his shoes. Yes, I was, he replied. And it's over. What's over? She knows damn well what. He struggled to contain his irritation. America. I'm not going, he huffed. Oh, really? Well, that is good news. She sounded sincerely pleased. Maybe a little more pleased than Osawa cared for. I need to go finish up some work things, he mumbled. He hurried to his study. Up on the second floor, sorry. I really need to stop for today, I think. He threw himself down in front of his computer. There hadn't been any progress on the investigation, as usual. Just how long was this all going to go on for? Were all kidnapping cases this drawn out? A specialized victim support team belonging to the Special Criminal Investigation Unit has been deployed at Osawa's house. The members of this team are all specialists who have received training in such skills as negotiation, high-speed motorcycle and automobile driving, running phone traces, special communications, and phone records acquisition. Okay. Osawa was growing more and more uneasy. He could barely contain himself at this point. Wasn't there something, anything that he could do? He glanced over at his monitor. That's an idea. He could look up kidnapping investigations on the internet. That might give him some insight into the current situation. Kidnapping, police investigations, hostages. He typed the 3 keywords into the search field. The engine pulled up over 100,000 hits. He scanned the beginning of the list for anything that might be useful. One of the side links caught his eye. How the police do it. It looked like a page containing information on various types of police cases. He clicked on the link for kidnapping cases and began to read. Even if the hostage wound up safe in the end, the site informed him the police lost face if the culprit got away. And if the hostage were killed and the kidnapper evaded capture, the media would have a field day. This made apprehending the suspect an absolute necessity. Even if a person's life was on the line, when it came to kidnapping cases, Jesus Christ, the police prioritized making the arrest. Wow, that's fucked up. Taking his hand off the mouse, Osawa sat back and forth. He was going to be able to relax until he heard Maria's voice again. But if the police prioritized arresting the suspect, why were they just letting things stay in limbo now? Didn't they have the crooks under surveillance? He couldn't wrap his head around that. There's something more going on, definitely. The internet hadn't been able to give him the info he'd hoped for after all. Unable to do anything for Maria but wait, he turned his thoughts to how his opportunity to transfer to the US has passed him by. The research facilities in America would have been top tier. Some part of him still couldn't quite accept what had happened. He stole a quick look back at the door, then surfed to the Aya Kamiki fan community for people 40 and over. Whenever something was weighing on his mind, posting to these forums seemed to turn his mood back around. He knew that now wasn't really the time to be doing this, but he needed to do something to calm and quiet his mind. He started a new forum topic. In the title field he wrote, Aya Kamiki expanding into the US. What? With Aya Kamiki still at the height of her popularity, does anyone else think it would be exciting if she ventured into the American market? I know I would. She's not the sort of artist who deserves to be confined to Japan. She should be recording at an American studio staffed by the industry's best. I'd love to see a career really take off over there. He wound up getting into a little back and forth with himself. Hopefully he'd get a response from someone else soon. It's his wife. It's his fucking wife. A sudden shrill noise startled him so much that he nearly cried out. His heart fluttered like that of a young child who'd been caught in some prank. Realizing that the sound was coming from the bug tracker, he pulled it from his pocket and took a few breaths to steady himself. Evidently, someone had bugged his study as well. Tracker in hand, he walked toward the center of the room. What direction was the signal coming from? He tried heading over towards the window. Here, maybe? Next, he headed over to his desk. Here too? Go and get Kajiwara, he can help you. The bug tracker was picking up signals from all over the room. Had there been that many listening devices planted in here? Mr. Osawa? It's Kajiwara. Ah, perfect timing. Osawa hurried to let the detective into the study. The bug tracker's picking up signals. Oh, yes, from all over the room. What should I do? Mr. Osawa, please calm down. As if that's even possible right now. It feels like there must be 10, no, maybe 100 listening devices in here. Kajiwara didn't miss a beat. Let me be honest with you. That bug tracker? It's broken. What? Osawa was dumbfounded. Broken? But this is the one I got from you, right? Well, yes, but mine isn't detecting anything. Kajiwara produced an identical bug tracker from his pocket. And, as he'd said, it wasn't getting any signal. As I recall, Mr. Osawa, that one was dropped on the floor when I was trying to hand it to you. Ah, yes, that's right. That must have been when it broke, sir. Is it though? The strength ebbed from Osawa's body. He didn't even have the mental energy to be angry anymore. God damn it. He gave the tracker a whack with the palm of his hand, and the beeping stopped. Right, he said. What can I do for you? Kajiwara clapped his hands together as if he just remembered something. Ah, right. We have a big problem. The toilet again, Osawa sighed. No, it's not that. It's something worse. Kajiwara's face turned grim. Something worse? That something happened to Maria. He needed to hear the detective out. There was no way it could be that important. Osawa didn't need to listen to this clown. Of course we listened to him. What is it? Osawa asked. Go on, tell me. He did his best to remain composed. Well, you see, we ordered lunches for everyone, and it looks like there were 2 still left over, so I wound up eating them. There was an awkward pause. Osawa didn't have the foggiest idea of how to respond. My deepest apologies, sir. I ate the lunches intended for you and your wife. Kajiwara bowed profusely. And I really do need to apologize. They were tonkatsu bento boxes, and they were delicious. The meat was so tender, and the batter so crisp. With each and every bite, the rich flavor just filled my mouth more and more. God, I'm hungry. Osawa felt a blood vessel burst in his skull. Pop! Listen, you. Get your goddamn act together, or... He didn't get to finish that thought. A pathetic little gurgle sounded from his stomach. Ah, see, Kajiwara said. You are hungry. He fussed sheepishly with his hair. At the talk of food, Osawa realized abruptly that he hadn't eaten anything since the night before. Shall I make something for you? The detective asked. This is all my fault after all. You can cook. Osawa wasn't sure how thrilled he was with the idea of Kajiwara helping him. You mustn't judge people based on outward appearances, Mr. Osawa. All right, fine. Go right ahead then. His newfound hunger was making it hard for him to think. It would certainly behoove him to eat something. He led Kajiwara to the kitchen. Fucking hell. You look fine. What's with that getup? Wearing an apron in the kitchen is a must, sir. Let's take a look. The cartoon character printed on the apron Kajiwara is wearing is one of his own design. It is modeled after the EMPD's mascot. His name is Pinbook. Alas, it isn't while I'm naked. Naked? Oh, are you not familiar with the concept of the naked apron? The state of being entirely naked save for an apron. A form of cosplay, the views from the front, rear and sides all offer a certain appeal, but caution must be advised, as it may be difficult to stop arguing about which presents the loveliest side once the topic is raised. There are similar, more sexualized naked styles as well, such as the naked sock, the naked shoe, naked necktie, naked ribbon, fucking hell, naked ribbon, naked scarf, naked collar, and so forth. I could demonstrate if you like. No, that's quite alright. Why'd you get that apron anyway? It's mine, sir. Have you had it with you this whole time? Yes, in here. What? With a smile, Kajiwara pointed to his pocket. Of course. Osawa eased himself into a chair. His hunger was making him feel weak, and Kajiwara was making him feel like he was losing his mind. Oh, this is bad, the detective said. I need to whip something up for you first. Something's definitely wrong with you if you don't even have a comeback. Osawa felt his anxiety mounting. Just what sort of food was this insufferable oaf going to make anyway? Probably nothing worth eating was his bet. For now, he'd just have to pray he wound out with something edible. Maybe it was better to ask Tanaka to make him lunch instead. Since Ai's lunch was gone as well, he should probably ask her to make something. No, fuck off. For now, he'd just have to pray he wound up with something edible. Kajiwara peered into the refrigerator. Goodness, you are remarkably understocked, he said. Let's see. Could you please put these in the dinger? What? Named for the sound a microwave oven makes when it has finished heating your food. So it's dinger. The microwave at my house doesn't really go ding when the timer reaches 0 though. It's more just a beep. But it doesn't make sense to call a microwave a beeper when that's already a word that refers to something else. Fucking hell, game. This episode is long enough already. What's going on here? Come on. The detective handed Osawa some frozen lumps of rice. A dinger? What the heck is a dinger? The microwave oven, sir. Osawa stepped in front of the microwave. That's a lovely kitchen, actually. Unfortunately, he had no idea how to work the Are you serious? He doesn't know how a fucking microwave works? You should thaw that rice out as soon as possible, Kajiwara told him. I'm actually not sure how to operate this thing. What? The detective gasped. You don't know how to use a microwave? Osawa could only nod in silent shame. It should be just as simple as turning the dial. Wait, which one? That one, sir. The one on the right. Why does it have... Well, I guess one dial could be for the power, but whatever. Osawa turned the dial, then crossed his arms with a satisfied grin. Mr. Osawa, you need to put the rice in first before you do that. Well, then why didn't you say that? Osawa snapped. Come on. Come on. That can't be true. I've never worked in a kitchen in my life. Don't ask me to do things that are this difficult. Very well. I'll handle this from here. Why don't you get out the bowls and a chopstick then, sir? I have no idea where the hell those are kept. Kajiwara let out a heavy sigh. All right then. Please just sit and wait, sir, he said. And here, take this. Kajiwara pulled out a sheet of bubble wrap from his pocket. Use your fingers to pop the bubbles. That should help you calm you down. Too drained to argue, Osawa did as prompted, starting to pop his way along the sheet. Fucking hell. Rather than calm him down, though, it was making him incredibly cross. This felt more like a sort of ridiculous punishment. They say you can learn a lot about a household by looking in the fridge, you know? Kajiwara was cooking something in a frying pan. And, Osawa asked, just what have you learned about mine? I'd better not say, sir. You might take offense. Osawa snipped another bubble between his fingers. Ding! Ah, the rice is finished thawing. Kajiwara topped a steaming bowl of rice with the fried egg he'd whipped up in his pan. Oh god, I want some egg and rice now. Then, as if it were an afterthought, he added some pickled vegetables. Doesn't look half bad. Here you are, sir. Your fried egg on rice is complete. Actually, it looks pretty alright, I think. One of Kajiwara's simple recipes. Others include his white spaghetti, which is simply spaghetti that's been flavored with butter, salt and pepper after it's been boiled. Butter, salt and pepper? Okay. Both are a bit too basic to be properly called cuisine, but it does take a certain skill to bring the best flavor out of the ingredients with such a simple seasoning. Kajiwara grinned from ear to ear. Go ahead and eat it while it's still warm. Osawa received the bowl with a dubious look. You aren't very good at cooking, are you? He said. All you had in your refrigerator were eggs and picked vegetables, sir. I assure you it's quite delicious. I recommend breaking the yolk and mixing it all together. Reluctantly, Osawa brought a bite to his mouth. That's good. The words came out almost unbidden. Isn't it just? Egg yolk and picked vegetables pair quite well. Osawa couldn't help but stuff his face, slipping into a rapturous daze as he did. The more he ate, the more it stirred his appetite. I had no idea fried eggs could be this delicious. I know you probably have a long ordeal still ahead of you, sir, but please, keep your chin up and hang in there. Kajiwara gave Osawa an amiable smile. Oh, is it? Who's... come on. That's right, he continued. And for dessert, we have bananas. No, thank you. Kajiwara grimaced as Osawa held up a hand in refusal. Right then, when you're finished eating, would you please wash the bowl? Me? Wash dishes? Osawa exclaimed in surprise, sounding like a petulant child. If someone else cooks for you, we should do the cleaning up. It's only polite. Fine, okay. While Osawa was doing the dishes, the bug detector went off again. Director, if you have a moment? Tanaka poked his head into the kitchen. I've got something urgent to discuss with you. Why is Kajiwara looking so intensely? Damn! Stuff is getting really, really mysterious sometimes. Then you get this lighthearted stuff in between, and then even more mysterious stuff. Next time, Tama, I think. Yeah, Tama. Bye.